Listen to me carefully. There comes a moment in life when you look in the mirror and you either see a winner or you see a coward who gave up on themselves. That moment is not tomorrow, not next week, not when you think you're ready. It's right now. And the truth is, the life you're living today, the opportunities you're missing, the excuses you keep making, they're all shaping who you are becoming. You're either building the mindset of a lion who owns his world, or the mindset of a sheep who waits for someone else to feed him. And let me tell you this, no one is coming to save you. No miracle is going to land in your lap. No magical investor is going to suddenly hand you millions. No boss is going to pay you enough to live your dream. If you want to break free, if you want to create wealth, if you want to build a life where you call the shots, then you must develop the one thing that separates winners from the rest, the business mindset. Now listen, because this is not some sugar-coated fairy tale about how easy it is. This is about discipline, strategy, vision, and execution. It's about becoming relentless. It's about rewiring the way you see money, time, effort, and failure. It's about transforming yourself into someone who doesn't just survive in this world, but dominates it. A business mind, it isn't about wearing a suit and shaking hands. It's not about fancy offices or pretending you're successful on social media. It's about perspective. It's about how you see opportunities where others see obstacles. It's about looking at the same world everyone else sees and saying, I will create something out of nothing. Most people are trapped in the mindset of an employee. They trade their hours for money, hoping to save enough, waiting for weekends, living for vacations. That is not freedom. That is slavery disguised with a paycheck. A true business mindset understands that time is more valuable than money. You can lose money and make it back, but once your time is gone, it's gone forever. So ask yourself, are you selling your time cheap? Are you wasting it on meaningless distractions, Netflix binges, gossip, laziness, scrolling endlessly through other people's lives instead of building your own? Because every second you waste is stolen from the empire you could be building. Motivation is a spark, but discipline is the engine that drives you forward when the spark burns out. People talk about motivation as if it's the magic answer, but motivation is fragile, inconsistent, and temporary. You might feel motivated today, you might feel unstoppable in this moment, but what happens tomorrow when life punches you in the face, when you wake up tired, when the world weighs heavy on your shoulders? That's when most people quit, because they were depending on motivation to carry them. The truth is, winners are not built on motivation. They are built on discipline. Discipline means doing what you said you would do long after the feeling in which you said it has faded. Discipline means showing up every single day, no excuses, no breaks, no self-pity. It is the backbone of every great achiever, the invisible force behind every empire, the secret weapon of every person who refuses to stay average. Motivation is emotional, discipline is logical. Motivation asks, do I feel like it? Discipline answers, it doesn't matter, it must be done. That's the difference. Discipline doesn't care if you're tired, if you're sad, if you're overwhelmed. Discipline doesn't wait for the perfect mood or the perfect conditions. It executes, it acts, it produces, and that's why it wins every time. The business mindset requires discipline because building a business, building wealth, building freedom is not a one-day event. It's a daily war. You will face setbacks, rejections, failures, stress, and obstacles. If you rely on motivation, you will give up the first time you fall. But discipline keeps you moving no matter what. Discipline is the alarm clock that wakes you up at 5 a.m. when the bed is warm and comfortable. Discipline is the reason you push through hours of work while your friends waste their time. Discipline is the reason you say no to distractions, no to temporary pleasures, no to comfort, because you are building something permanent, something greater. Discipline is not glamorous. It doesn't look exciting on social media. It's repetitive, it's exhausting, it's lonely, but it's also unstoppable. Day by day, step by step, discipline compounds. It stacks small wins on top of each other until suddenly the world looks at you and calls you an overnight success, not realizing you've been grinding in silence for years. Discipline is freedom disguised as sacrifice. The more disciplined you are, the more control you have over your future. The less disciplined you are, the more you become a slave to circumstances. That is the brutal truth. So stop chasing motivation like a drug. Stop waiting for the right time or the right feeling. The right time is now. The right feeling may never come, but discipline is always available if you choose it. Discipline is not a gift. It is a decision. It is not something you wait for. It is something you create. Build it, strengthen it, live by it, and nothing will be able to break you. Failure is not the end. It is the beginning. It is not the enemy of success. It is the teacher of success. Yet most people live their lives running from failure, terrified of making mistakes, avoiding risks, and protecting their fragile egos. They would rather stay safe, stay average, and never try than face the possibility of falling. And that is exactly why they never win. The truth is, if you want to achieve greatness, if you want to build wealth, if you want to live with freedom, you must stop fearing failure and start embracing it. Failure is feedback. It is information. It tells you what doesn't work so you can find what does. Every time you fail, the world is handing you a map, pointing you closer to the right direction. Every setback, every rejection, every loss, it's not punishment, it's training. It's shaping you, sharpening you, preparing you for the moment you finally break through. Think about the people who inspire you, the people who have achieved greatness. None of them got there without failure. Every empire was built on broken bricks. Every fortune was built on losses. Every success story is also a story of pain, risk, and rejection. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is not that the winners avoided failures, that they refused to let failure stop them. Most people quit at the first sign of pain. They start a project, they hit a wall, they get discouraged, and they walk away. Winners hit the same walls, but instead of stopping, they climb over them, break through them, or find a way around them. That's the mindset shift you must embrace. Failure is not a dead end, it is a stepping stone. Every failure is a test. Do you want it badly enough to try again? Do you believe in yourself strongly enough to rise after falling? Are you willing to keep swinging until you land the hit? The weak take failure personally. They see it as proof they're not good enough. The strong see failure as feedback. They see it as part of the process, as the tuition they must pay for success. Think of failure as the price of admission to greatness. You cannot avoid it, but you can use it. You can let it break you, or you can let it build you. If you reframe failure, it becomes fuel. The pain of rejection can drive you to improve. The frustration of loss can push you to work harder. The embarrassment of mistakes can motivate you to sharpen your skills. Failure forces growth. Without it, you remain soft, untested, and fragile. With it, you become resilient, adaptable, and unshakable. And that is exactly the kind of person success requires you to be. So stop running from failure. Stop hiding behind excuses. Start chasing failure, because the more you fail, the faster you learn and the closer you get to winning. Remember this: the only true failure is quitting. Everything else is progress. Vision is the seed of greatness, but execution is the soil, the water, and the sunlight that makes it grow. Without vision, you are lost, drifting without direction, going wherever life pushes you. Without execution, you are a dreamer, trapped in fantasies that never see reality. You need both. Vision is the ability to see what doesn't exist yet, to imagine a future that others can't even picture. It is the clarity of knowing exactly where you want to go and why you want to go there. But here's the hard truth. Vision by itself is useless if you don't take relentless action. Too many people sit around talking about their dreams, writing them down, fantasizing about how life will look when they're successful. They talk big, but their actions are small, and that is why they never move. A real business mindset doesn't just dream, it executes. It doesn't just plan, it acts. It doesn't just hope, it builds. Relentless execution means you wake up every day and you work on your vision whether you feel like it or not. It means you keep moving forward no matter how slow it feels, because progress is progress. It means you take massive action over and over again until the world bends to your will. Execution is not glamorous. It's not exciting. It's boring repetition. It's grinding when no one is watching. It's doing the small, unsexy tasks that stack up into empires. It's emails, phone calls, strategies, systems, late nights, early mornings. It's sweat, sacrifice, and silence. And if you cannot endure that, your vision will die in your head. The difference between winners and losers is not vision, it's execution. Everyone has dreams, but few have the discipline to act on them. Everyone has ideas, but few have the courage to put them into the world. Execution is what separates the ones who talk about success from the ones who live it. And here's the secret. Once you commit to relentless execution, momentum starts working for you. One step leads to the next. One action creates another, and suddenly you're moving faster, building bigger, achieving more. People start to notice, opportunities start to come, and your vision begins to materialize before your eyes. But you cannot stop. You cannot take your foot off the gas. You cannot become lazy once progress appears, because that is when most people lose. Vision requires consistency. Execution requires persistence. It is not about bursts of effort. It is about sustained, relentless pursuit. Do not wait for permission. Do not wait for conditions to be perfect. Do not wait for anyone to validate your vision. Act now, act daily, act with intensity. Because every day you execute, you bring your vision closer to reality. And every day you delay, your vision fades a little more into the graveyard of wasted potential. Vision is the dream. Relentless execution is the weapon. Together, they create destiny. Most people chase lifestyle. They want the car, the clothes, the parties, the trips, the attention, the fleeting pleasures that make them look successful but leave them empty inside. Lifestyle is surface level. It is temporary. It is fragile. It disappears the moment money dries up or attention fades. But a true business mindset, it is not about chasing lifestyle. It is about building legacy. Legacy is not about what you buy, it is about what you build. It is not about how many people admire you today, it is about how many people are impacted by you tomorrow. Legacy is what remains when you are gone, the mark you leave on this world, the empire that outlives your years. Lifestyle feeds your ego, but legacy feeds your soul. Lifestyle is about impressing others, but legacy is about empowering others. Lifestyle is consumed, but legacy is remembered. The trap of lifestyle is that it tricks you into thinking you've made it when in reality, you are still a slave to appearances. You spend money you don't have on things you don't need to impress people who don't care. And in the end, you are left with nothing real, but legacy forces you to think bigger. It forces you to ask, what am I building that will still stand when I am gone? What am I creating that will still matter years from now? How will my name be remembered? Legacy requires patience. It requires vision. It requires sacrifice. You may not always get the instant rewards that lifestyle promises, but you get something deeper, something permanent. Legacy is the business you build that continues to thrive, the wealth you create that protects generations, the lessons you teach that echo long after you are gone. Legacy is living for more than yourself. And that is what gives life meaning. When you focus on legacy over lifestyle, your decisions change. You stop wasting money on distractions and start investing in assets. You stop seeking short-term pleasure and start building long-term success. You stop living for likes and start living for impact. And here is the truth. When you chase legacy, the lifestyle eventually comes anyway, but it comes on your terms, built on a foundation that cannot be shaken. The expensive car means more when it represents years of sacrifice, not a desperate attempt to impress strangers. The freedom of travel means more when it's bought by assets that keep paying you, not by debt that keeps chaining you. The respect you receive means more when it is earned through impact, not faked through appearances. So stop living for lifestyle alone. Start building for legacy, because when the lights go out, when the parties end, when the noise fades, lifestyle disappears. But legacy remains. And if you want to be remembered as someone who mattered, someone who built, someone who inspired, someone who left this world better than they found it, you must choose legacy over lifestyle every single time. At the end of the day, it all comes down to one question. What kind of life are you going to choose for yourself? Will you live small, trapped in fear, wasting your days chasing comfort? Or will you rise, build, and demand more from yourself than the world ever thought possible? You have been given one chance at life, and every second that slips away is gone forever. This isn't a rehearsal. This isn't practice. This is it. Right here, right now. The business mindset is not just about making money. It's about rewriting your destiny. It's about deciding that you will not settle for mediocrity, that you will not accept the life society hands you, that you will not bow to fear, excuses, or laziness. It is about becoming the kind of person who builds, who leads, who inspires, who creates a legacy that outlives them. Yes, it will hurt. Yes, it will require sacrifice. Yes, it will test you in ways you cannot imagine, but the reward is freedom. The reward is power. The reward is knowing that when your time is up, you lived fully, you fought bravely, you built something that mattered. So stop waiting for the perfect moment. It doesn't exist. Stop wishing someone would save you. No, one is coming. Stop making excuses, because excuses won't build your empire. What will build it is hunger, discipline, resilience, vision, execution, and the refusal to quit. Your future is in your hands. Your empire is waiting. Your legacy is waiting. The only question left is, will you rise and claim it, or will you waste the only life you have? The choice is yours.